pressing your phone while driving.
Greetings. Long day, guys. I've just been listening to President Tayali. Yes. Hi, by Eunice. I've just been listening to President Tayali. It was somebody that Mwandin. We thank God. Thank God we have such people in Zambia, like President Tayali, who step up to the plate and just give their time and share their knowledge and wisdom. Clara, good to see you. Danielia, good to see you. Share with somebody, guys. We've just finished watching Tayali, and we just want to thank God for such people, because, with it, Tayali, President Tayali, he's my son, so I can call him Tayali. Tayali tonight was awesome, just super. If you haven't watched Tayali, please go back and watch his video that he did just now. If you missed the video, just go and watch it. He shared important information to bring the country and the people up to speed on what is actually happening. I think he did it without bias. So big up to President Tayali for the, all the knowledge he shared, all the callers. It was great, guys. It was simply great. So if you missed Tayali's live, just go back and watch it. It's a lot of information. He shared a lot of history about what is happening about this eligibility case, and the case is in a few hours' time. I believe in Zambia you have already crossed over to 26. For us here in my time zone, it's still on Wednesday. Good evening, La Vincent. Hi, La Grace. So, yeah, I can't say much, but I just want to thank Tayali for breaking it down for all of us. Thank you, Mr. Tayali, for explaining everything to us about what is happening concerning this case, which is going tomorrow, which is happening tomorrow. From my side, it's tomorrow. If you're in the Zambian space, it is today. It is actually happening today, Thursday. You guys, you are 9 hours ahead. So me here, I'm still on Wednesday, but you guys, you have crossed over to Thursday. So the case is being heard tomorrow, and we saw the climax where 3 judges were suspended who presided on this case in 2016. And I am here just to wrap it up. I can't, today is an important day, and I just thought, let me come here and share my view before tomorrow, you know, because tomorrow is an important day. And if you are in Lusaka, if you are in local, make time to go there at the Concord Court and support our former Republican president. Support is needed, guys. We all need to go there and give support. Let us be peaceful. It is our democratic right for peaceful assembly. It's not a sin. It's not a crime to gather peacefully. So we are appealing to the Zambia police to provide the security that people need to gather peacefully. Tear gassing citizens, that is an infringement on people's rights when they gather peacefully and police start throwing tear gas. We are asking Zambia police to help this peaceful protest tomorrow for people who are prepared and geared to go and support either Balungu or HH. So we are going to have supporters from both sides. So we are appealing to Zambia police to facilitate a peaceful assembly tomorrow. Yes. People will gather tomorrow. People who are Zambians, people who are gathering tomorrow, they are Zambians. They are not PF, they are not HH, they are not UPND. They are simply Zambians tomorrow who are going to gather there. So we are asking, I'm going to tag Zambia police in this video too. We are asking Zambia police to facilitate a peaceful assembly of Zambian citizens tomorrow. It is a big day. We don't want to hear people being tear gassed for exercising their civic right. No. Yes. So that is that. But I wrote a statement myself because as a president and a founder of a political party, as a human rights advocate, we have to make a statement on when such things are happening in the country. And I wrote myself a statement, official statement, which I posted on my official page, and I am going to read it to you. So I'll just read from the beginning. Statement on suspension of the 3 constitutional court judges. I stand before you as president and founder of New Era Democratic Party to strongly condemn the recent suspension of 3 Concord judges who presided over the eligibility case of former Republican President Mr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu regarding his eligibility to run for president in 2016. This action by President Hakainde Hichilema is troubling for several critical reasons. 1. Conflict of interest and abuse of power. The suspension of these judges represents a glaring conflict of interest, as this case directly involves President Hakainde Hichilema. For a sitting president to dismiss or appoint judges in a matter that involves him personally is not only a profound abuse of power, but also a breach of professional ethics and integrity. This act compromises the independence of our judiciary and severely undermines public trust in our justice system. Compromise of judicial independence. By suspending judges presiding in a case in which the president himself is involved, there is significant risk that remaining or newly appointed judges may be influenced or intimidated into making unfair or unjust decisions. This manipulation of the judiciary to suit the president's interests threatens the very foundation of impartial justice that is critical to democracy. Influence from criminal elements. We are further concerned that The individual who requested the dismissal of these judges, Joseph Busengwa, has been publicly seen on social media in a close and personal relationship with the president. This raises serious questions about motivations behind these suspensions and the possible influence of external non-governmental actors on decisions that should be guided purely by law. It is alarming that an individual so closely connected to the president with a questionable background played a role in this process. Reopening of a case without new evidence. The eligibility case of Mr. Lungu has already been heard, I think, over 8 times. And under the law, a case should not be reopened unless there is new and compelling evidence. Despite this, the same information is being presented again in what appears to be an unjustified reopening of the case. This is not only a waste of judicial resources, but a deliberate attempt to manipulate the outcome of a previously settled matter. Lack of judicial independence from the executive. Our party, NED, demands the mode of appointment and dismissal of judges to be entirely independent of the executive branch. The judiciary must be autonomous to prevent an interference by the executive in legal matters, especially in cases that directly involve the president or his close associates. The current situation is a clear example of the dangers of allowing the executive to exert undue influence over the judiciary. Erosion of democratic principles. President Hakainde Hichilema campaigned on a platform of upholding the rule of law, yet his recent actions demonstrate a blatant disregard for it. The suspension of judges who ruled unfavorably against him in the height is the height of authoritarianism. Is it authoritarianism and attack on our democracy? I can't say that word. I urge all Zambians to condemn this action as it threatens the integrity of our legal system and undermines our democratic principles. Call for judicial integrity. I implore the remaining judges and all those in the judiciary to uphold the principles they swore to defend. They must rule on all cases without fear or favor, even if it means risking their jobs or being dismissed. The preservation of our democracy and the rule of law depends on their courage and integrity in the face of pressure. Embracing artificial intelligence in judicial system. Lastly, as we advance into modern age, we must embrace the use of technology, particularly artificial intelligence in our judicial system. AI helps ensure that cases are resolved efficiently and in strict confidence, with accordance with the law and free from personal biases or undue influence. Incorporating AI will strengthen the objectivity of the judiciary and provide greater transparency in decision-making, benefiting all Zambians. In conclusion, we condemn the suspension of the judges in the strongest terms and call upon all citizens to view this as a direct threat to our democracy and independence of our judiciary. Let us stand together in defense of justice, fairness, and the rule of law. So that is that, guys. That is my official statement. But then, this whole thing tomorrow, we don't know what will happen, because if the ruling is in favor of the current president, it will mean that the 2021 elections will be declared null and void. That's what that could mean. Now, what are the implications when these elections, if at all, ECL is declared ineligible, it could mean that that election for 2021 is illegal. It will be to mean it is an illegal it was an illegal election in 2021, which means also that Bahakainde is not supposed to be president, because it could mean that these elections will be declared null and void. So APA, it could be a catch-22 for UPND government, because they are the ones who want to continue hearing this case over and over. I quote, Ichulukia Tayali said this case has been heard already 8 times. We don't want adjournments. We need to settle this matter and move forward. We have more important pressing issues that the country needs to look at the moment. Families are staying 3-4 days without water and electricity. We don't have time to be dragging into court over a matter that has been heard 8 times, over and over again. They must rule tomorrow. But then, however they rule is like a double-edged sword, catch-22. No one will win out of this. Whatever the ruling, no one is going to win, because it will be more problems for Zambia. It will be more political problems. That's why Balalandati, care for what you ask for, you know. But HH could be wanting the judiciary to declare those ECL ineligible. But what does it mean if the judges tomorrow say that ECL was not qualified to run? It could mean that that election was illegal, and it would be declared null and void. So if that election is declared null and void, what does that make the current president? It means he also have to vacate the presidency, and then Walungu would have to stand in as the president, and then we announce fresh elections. It could mean we could go back to, we could call for any elections. So we are in a problem, guys. Whichever way you slice it is going to be a problem. But for me, I just think the best is the judiciary should not overturn a ruling which has already been decided 8 times. I think if the judges tomorrow overturn this ruling, which has been ruled the same way for 8 times, then that will be a recipe for chaos in the country. It's going to be chaotic. Believe me, if they overturn this ruling, it is going to be chaotic. So, this is just my opinion. I'm just saying, for me, I would rather things stay the way they are. Let us proceed to the general election, which is coming in 2026. In Balandat, let the sleeping dogs lie. Apopo to Africa, this case yamu 2016. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 8 years ago. Like really, what new evidence do they have? So for me, this is my opinion. I can just say I hope the judges will do the due diligence and let the sleeping dogs lie. Because if they overturn this decision, it will mean that that election in 2021 was illegal, and then HH need to step down as the president to allow Walungu to carry on as a president, and then call for fresh elections. So Elia Ashidio. And the other side of the story is they are doing this so that they bar H, they stop. Okay, I don't know if they are aware that if ECL is declared eligible, then it would mean ECL will have to take over power and we go for fresh elections. That's the other side of the story. The other side of the story, they think if ECO is declared eligible, then HH will continue as president. No. HH cannot continue as the president if ECL is declared eligible. So it's a catch-22. So I don't know. In the moment, it's like, let us focus to the future, because you can't undo what is already done. It was sealed, signed, and delivered 8 times. The judges ruled ECL is eligible. And go and watch Tayali. He explained everything. What happened, why the judges have stuck to their guns. So there is a good explanation why the judges have stuck to the same ruling. And yesterday I listened to former Republican President by ECL. He said why he's confident about the ruling. Because the law is the law. You don't change law depending on the judge who's there. No. The law is set in stone. Zambia, we have a constitution. And these judges, they have to rule on matters based on the constitution. So just because today Pumulo Istumbeko is a judge, then you go and reopen the same case without new evidence, and then you expect Pumulo Istumbeko, the new judge, to judge in your favor. No. Pumulo Istumbeko doesn't make judgment based on ideas in her head. Judge Pumulo Istumbeko will make ideas based on the constitution, what is written in the constitution of Zambia. So we are tuned in, guys. We are tuned in. We are tuned in. We are going to follow this case closely. If you are in Lusaka tomorrow, everyone head there. Support the democracy. You are supporting. If you want, you can go in any capacity. You can go as a PF supporter. You can go as a UPND supporter. You can just go as a Zambian citizen. But the point is, let us all turn up in numbers tomorrow and show up for our constitution. Show the judges that we are following everything that's happening in Zambia. Yes. So, area Ashirio. But point number 1, Eo Nachilanda is like, Zambia police, please provide security. We don't want my lokukawe amatia gasukula pepeka abantu kuladi shemfuti. Zambia, we are a peaceful nation. Zambia, we are a peaceful nation. Even when we gather peacefully. It is our constitutional right. So, I'm here to plead with the Zambia police to be there to ensure that there is law and order. We don't want violence from police. Because Zambia police ngambo kuleta violence muli banono sana. Ama Zambians bali fula ukuchida imwe ba police. So let us not go there. But police, just respect the Zambians and give them their space that they need to exercise their democratic right, which is the freedom of assembly. Provide peace there. Tatudefwa tukomfwe mailo at yo kwachiwa magasi kwachibe mfuti. Ba Zambia police, please behave. Effort to lay lomba kufukudi ba Zambia police. And then all of you, if you are in Lusaka, show up. Politics is not a dirty game. We are dirty, Febeni. We make politics dirty. I disagree with you. All over the world, there are politics. Bushe chalo chonsi afialo kudiyama politics. Is it what is happening in Zambia happening in those countries? No. What is happening in Zambia is not happening in other countries. So if we're Zambians, we are making politics dirty. We are making our politics dirty. At politics is dirty, no? We are here in America. People are, politicians are doing their thing. Yeah? So Eligibility mwe bantu bakwaleza. So Eligibility, it's a very tense situation in the country right now. It's very tense. The situation is tense, you know. All this time and energy to talk about eligibility from 2016. Mwe bantu bakwaleza. 8 years later. Eh? But one thing I picked up, one thing that I picked up from Tayali's live, he talked about we should not allow Hakainde to pick political candidates whom he is going to run with against in 2025, because all these shenanigans they are doing is a plot to stop ECL from being on the ballot in 2026. Now, Zambia is a democracy, you know. Zambia is a democracy, and the race to being a president in Zambia should be open. Just because Hakainde is in the government now, he's running the country, he's the president, does not give him a right to start picking whom should be his opponent in the race to presidency in 2026. That's unfair. Bakaunda babikire pochula. When we moved from single to multi-party state, Kenneth Kaunda put a frog there, and the frog beat him. And I liked the way President Tayali put it. He said, in a football match, when we have all these games, Africa Cup, you know, your opponents are picked randomly. Whomever wants to play in that map, whoever qualifies to play Kuma World Cup, Africa Cup, your name is put in a bucket and you are randomly selected to play certain teams. You can't pick and choose your kwabatine because mu group D ndefo kuteana ba Malawi, ndefo kuteana ba Tanzania, ndefo kuteana ba South Africa. Then that is rigging. You have already rigged an election or rigged the game. When you are trying to handpick opponents in a presidential race, that is rigging an election. Because you know you are stronger than those people. You want certain people to be on a ballot and then certain people excluded on a ballot. That is rigging an election. So imingrato shabona shambakade to rig this 2026 election. By doing all this, they are doing all this because Fire ECL not to be on the ballot. But then there are other things that come with this thing. They are trying to do. They are overlooking that if ECL is declared ineligible, it will mean even HH will, his election to be president will be null and void. He will have to vacate office and Lungu will come back. But they are doing all this knowing, fully knowing, preparing for 2026 that, you know, Edgar Chagwa Lungu should not be on the ballot. So, this is where I liked what Tayali said to say. How can we allow someone who is a presidential candidate to pick the candidates he is going to run against? Is that a free and fair election? That is part of rigging. This is all part of a rigging formula. That's why me and all well-meaning Zambians should plead with judges, the judiciary system in Zambia to preside on this case without fear or favor. But the problem is some of these judges have been handpicked by the executive, so their allegiance is to the executive, and this is the problem that we have. We have a president handpicking judges who are supposed to preside in his case. So that is compromise. It's not ethical. It's morally wrong and ethically wrong. But this is what is happening. You have judges who are supposed to preside on a HH's case, whom he appointed. And it is very sad, I think, and I think like as a country we need to review how we appoint these judges. The executive should not be anywhere close to appointing judges, because it compromises everything. Everything is compromised now. You know, there is a conflict of interest, there is all abuse of power. How can someone who's appointing these people, you know, someone who appoints these people is involved in the case and then he dismisses judges and appoints them? Is that fair? No, it is rigged. It is rigged. So it's up to the judges in this case. Before I close, I just want to say, you know, everything is in the hands of the judges right now. We leave everything in the hands of the judges. They are the qualified people. They are the one who swore to uphold the rule of law. Let them do the right thing. Even if it means them being dismissed, let them preserve our constitution and the laws of the land. So thank you for watching. But tomorrow we'll be here again as the story unfolds. Make your way to the Concord Court. Show up peacefully. Again, we are appealing to the Zambia police to ensure law and order there and not bring violence to the people. Zambian people are very peaceful people. So, tatulefo kumfo efi amati yagas. Nga muka parking efi myotoka, muka parking efi myotoka fienu. And don't even carry live ammunition. I don't see why people should, you should carry live ammunition to people exercising their civic right. Yes. Police should not carry live ammunition. Yeah. Yeah, so earlier she went to Bakwalesa. It's kind of a very tough, stressful situation in the country. It's unnecessary. Despite everything we are going through, tuambekula sakamana pama illegality, nombanga baba funya pochika bashani nomba, you know, it's unnecessary. Unnecessary, but I can just say, Bakahaka Inde, you are not going to pick your opponents. If you are going to pick your opponents in an election, we might as well not have an election. Yeah. Any games you don't pick, any games. Okay, politics is not a game. It's a matter of life and death. People are elected to these positions to rule people, make decisions which are a matter of life and death. So if you're a politician, take this seriously. So on Seole Tuntumbo politician should be on a ballot. Because he's a president, does not have a right to start choosing who he should run against him. So but therefore I'm a president Panopondi, but I just started politics. You know, I just started politics. The political party I belong to is barely 6 months old. Nobody knows me. So Bahaka India would pick at our Pabalot Palaba Pumulo Palaba. He will pick us all young people who he knows he can beat. And this is what we are fighting against. We are fighting our independence. We are fighting our democracy to say everyone who is qualified should be on the ballot. People cannot be just, Bahaka India cannot just wake up and disqualify a strong candidate. Umuntu wakubapela competition mu box tabade mufoya. Bale foya abantu apala pumulo stumbe ko bashabe. So that election will be a walkover. The election will be a walkover. Everybody foya bahaka in the by removing ECL from being on the ballot. And we say no to that. All the judges, all the Zambians tomorrow show up in Lusaka. If I was in Lusaka, I would have showed up. But I will still show up online here. You know, my online presence is very important because a lot of people, this page reaches a lot of people. Don't be deceived by this number there. You know, this page reaches a lot of people. So, we'll be here and we'll be talking, yes. But HH will not going to give HH the power to determine who is a political opponent on the ballot, because that's rigging an election. Chimona chess ngamlete ya chess. After you scan all the players, wayamkusala player oh wish batu walamu bita oh walanda tuwalate anangu. Eh? Already boxing is between two people. Kulaba, they match boxers according to your weight and all those things. Ama heavyweight bafile balu ama heavyweight. Techi heavyweight ese mkulwa na lightweight ala kuipaya. So ba HH for ba FY. Ba HH ba FY yokuingira mu boxing ring ya 2026 nama lightweight. He doesn't want to face heavyweight munawo. Well, we are watching and we'll be here, we'll be talking. Otherwise, thank you so much. And we'll be here again tomorrow with the developing news, what is going to happen Kuriamairo. Tatulefaya amad judgment. Let the judges show us bad sambidira and that they respect our constitution and the rule of land and do the right thing according to the what is the word? Let them do the right thing according to the constitution they swore to uphold. Yes. 30, you know, fika leta ma problems because 8 times kala they are deciding for morphine. So they want to change it, and the laws of that they can't go back and change the law. 8 years ago. So in 2024 again the same thing. To anaka na fiena. We are sick and tired of it. Honestly speaking, to anaka. Okay, we'll be here tomorrow, guys. Why? If I know it's still afternoon. Yep. Maybe I'll go to TikTok and chat with some people who are still there. Otherwise, good night. Get some rest. Tomorrow will be a long day. Yeah. So good night, guys. Thank you. God bless.